Hello guys and welcome back to the Zubi Show. On today's edition of the show, I'm going to be teaching you guys the 7 ways to turn a woman on. A lot of guys, they text women or talk to them in a way that just makes them go dry. There's no sexual tension, there's no build up to anything, just a bunch of questions and logical answers and merry-go-round. You have to be able to spike a woman's emotions if you really want to get any intimacy from that relationship or affair. So without wasting much time, I'm going to dive right into it. But before then, I want you to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on content like this from this account. Number one, you have to tell her sexual jokes or use sexual innuendo. So you don't have to be a creep by going direct and telling her a lot of nasty sexual things, but you have to imply these things. These things have to be implied. You have to suggest them in a way that you don't really see the meaning until you look deeper into it. There is more like an underlying meaning in it, right? It's not something you decipher when you hear it. For instance, you guys might be planning to go on a date and it's maybe to a park, right? And there are a lot of activities going on there, boat riding, horse riding. You could ask her if she knows how to ride, right? If when you guys are talking about riding a horse or something, you ask her, I hope you know how to ride. Like I like women like that. So that way now she knows you guys are talking about riding horse, but that could also mean another thing. You understand? So it could also mean another thing. You have to learn how to use words that way so that her mind will travel several miles somewhere else. Meanwhile, you've not really explicitly suggested something like that. Number two, you have to be very, very confident and show leadership. You don't just tell her to suggest something for you. If you guys want to go on a date, if you guys want to do something, you have to man up and also take the lead. You have to take the lead. If you guys are walking, going to place where you are supposed to meet or anything like that, you hold the hand, right? You just have to use that aura of confidence and leadership. The third one, you have to show strong eye contact. You have to undress her with your eyes, right? You have to do that. Give her that triangular gaze, look at her from head, then the two sides of her boobs. You might even go down further to look at her, kind of size her up. Tell her that you are actually looking at more than what you see, right? So you just have to do that. Eye contact is a really good way to build up sexual tension. The fourth one now is you have to smell really nice. Guys, I can't overemphasize this. You have to invest in smelling good. You don't have to break a bank for this. Women like good smell and it's something that endears them to you. And it's all in the subconscious. They really don't know. Okay, I'll tell a story. There's this girl at the gym. I go to the gym and she's a really pretty girl, maybe an 8 over 10 facially. So we kind of met outside the gym when I was about to enter and I extended my hand for a handshake, right? I extended my hand and we shook hands and she held on to my hands, right? She held on to it. And I knew it was the way she perceived that really nice smell that came out of that just came out right when I was around her. She felt it, she perceived it, and it was really really nice. And I know that it smelled really good that day, right? So we held hands for a long time. So things like this, it just happens in the subconscious. Sometimes you might want to give them a hug, and when you give them a hug, the hug will linger. You try to make it linger for 2 3 seconds, right, before the thing goes. So you just have to smell nice wherever you are going to, even your house. It has to smell really really nice. Smell is a good turn on. The fifth one now, you have to tease her at all times. Tease her with what she does, the work she does, tease her with some funny things, tease her literally all the time. You could call her a certain kind of name. If she's an artist, she draws, she paints, you could call her Picasso or Leonardo da Vinci, something like that. Just create a very nice, fun communication with her. That's just what teasing is all about. Teasing also helps you relieve that tension, right? You might feel when you're moving with a pretty girl. So teasing works very well. The sixth one now, you have to break the touch barrier as early as possible. You have to break the touch barrier. Now, you don't just touch her like a creep out of the blues. You're trying to touch her stomach or any part of her body. If you guys are walking, you might lead, and maybe you want to sit down, you might lead her by holding her hands and placing your hand on her waist, right? That way you're kind of guiding her, but at the same time you're touching her. Right? You could tell her, oh, let me see your nails. If she has some nice nails on, or you want to see her fingers, just kind of examine it. That way you break the touch barrier. If you're not doing that, she wouldn't feel that connection. It's just a very small, subtle way of creating a connection. And the last one is, which is the seventh one, is you have to whisper in her ears. There's some things you might want to tell her. You whisper it in her ears, right? There's a girl at the gym also. I were having a conversation and we are really really cool, right? So I went. I told her she should come close, right? I wasn't going there and trying to sniff her and bend her over. I told her she should come over. I held her on her shoulder and brought her closer. Told her, why are you doing all this? She wants to grow a fatter ass. And I was like, tell me the truth. You want to get better in bed? And her response was really good. She said, who told you I'm not good in bed? So the essence of that is that you have to use a very slow baritone, deep baritone voice, right? When whispering into her ears, and you have to make it really slow so that she would feel your masculinity. It works a whole lot. So if you try out all these 7 signs with women you meet, you're going to have a high level of success, and you'll be able to turn a lot of them on. You might not really turn every woman on you meet, because some might not really be attracted to you, or they don't really want any attraction with you, but you have a really high success rate if you do all of this. So guys, hit the subscribe button. That's all for now. See you guys in the next video. Bye.